Welcome back to Sidecast. Today we have myself, Chris, and with me is Justin.
Hey, hello.
And today we're going to do a side of Gravity Falls,
Hell yes.
more specifically Season 1 and the shorts between 1 and 2.
Yeah, neither of us have watched Season 2 yet.
Not even a little bit, because we want to wait until that season's completely
It's probably
done,
completed, yeah.
and then we can...
Because I don't think it's done. I think they're just, like, breaking the season in half or something like that, like any other show these days.
They do seem to be doing that a lot. I think the first show I heard of doing it was Walking Dead.
Walking Dead and Game of Thrones.
Did Game of Thrones do it? I don't remember Game of Thrones breaking.
Maybe they didn't. No, you're probably right. It's definitely Walking Dead, though. That's the one I was thinking of first, obviously.
Yeah, because they run it towards the fall and winter, and they don't show it during Christmas time.
Side note, this is the thing that's kind of annoying, because I love Game of Thrones. I love it more than Walking Dead. Why the hell have we been waiting so goddamn long for more Game of Thrones? Like, Walking Dead was going, and then they cut the season, and then the season's about to start again, and I think it's going to start again before Game of Thrones again. Like, son of a bitch. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Walking Dead, but come on, Game of Thrones, that's my bread and butter.
Well, you gotta hope that they're putting more time into it, so it'll be as good as it's always been.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. I assume it's gonna be awesome.
Right.
Like, I just feel it in my loins.
So we're gonna start off with Justin. I don't really know who watched it first, because
first saw it first. I watched it first, but one of us might have seen an episode before the other or whatever.
Right. So what was because you had seen this show, at least in the background, before sitting down and actually watching it.
Yeah, I remember seeing at least the first episode. I saw the Manitar episode, and then I want to say I saw a couple of other episodes here and there. But my little brother watches a lot of random shows on television stuff, and so he probably saw it at some point. And I was probably just like watching him or something, and I went into the room and, oh, look what you're watching. Might as well watch it with you or something. But I remember seeing the show at some point, but not really paying attention to it. But then I saw a Nostalgia Critic on his channel, not on Channel Awesome, but I mean on YouTube, the League of Super Critics or whatever it is. He started coming out with these vlogs about it. So I went to watch the first one, but I paused it, went online, and decided to go actually watch the episode in question. And I watched the first one, and it was magical and delightful, and it completely captured me immediately. And so for the past few days, because I watched it recently this week, so for the past few days, what I've been doing is watching an episode of Gravity Falls, watching the corresponding vlog, another episode, another vlog, another episode, another vlog, take a break for a little bit, come back, watch a couple of episodes here and there. And so it was either yesterday or the day before that, I finished Season 1, and then I started watching all these little shorts, and I urged Christopher to go check it out. And he did, and we both liked the show, and we decided, why don't we make a sidecast about it? So here we are.
Pretty much. What was it about the Nostalgia Critics blog that made you want to sit down and watch it?
I just, I don't know, I just liked the Nostalgia Critic, and I saw that he was doing it for Gravity Falls. I was like, hey, I've seen that show. I remember liking it, so I was like, I might as well watch it. At first I actually checked out how many episodes there were, because as I've said in another video, maybe main series episode or whatever, I've been watching One Piece, and that's long as fuck.
Yes.
So I wanted to see how long Gravity Falls was, and there's not a lot of episodes, so it's fairly short. So I was like, I might as well take a hiatus from One Piece for a little bit and watch that. And I did, and I loved it. It's delightful.
Okay. I was aware of the show because I was at my parents' place. Well, I don't have internet at my place. So when I go over to their place, I'll, just sit down, and when I'm waiting for something, I'll watch cable just to see if there's anything on. And
wait, you don't have internet? You don't have cable?
I don't have cable.
I was going to say, you don't have internet? What the fuck? How are we talking, nigga?
But I was sitting there, and I saw Gravity Falls was on, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And it was the Manitar episode.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And I thought, okay, this is kind of funny. But my very first thought was, this is like Adventure Time. Very
I
first
could see
thought.
it, kind of.
Yeah. Just because,
Not
as far as
exactly, but I could see it.
I don't watch a lot of cartoons nowadays, so I had the last like new-ish show that I've seen is Adventure Time. So of course, this being because I feel like this is going to be the new style of cartoons that are coming out, a little bit darker, a little bit more like not that cartoons haven't always.
Risque, I guess.
Well, I was gonna say not only cartoons ever since they've come out have always been kind of like WTF? What is it? What is it I'm looking for? This is really kind of random, but I feel like maybe it's just because I'm older, but I feel like they're trying to just show you things that just for the purpose of being random.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. With shows like my little brother, he watches he records it too and watches it like the same episode over and over and over. But he watches it's on Cartoon Network with the Blue Cat Gumball. He watches Gumball all the time. And I mean, I'm not going to say it's a bad show. I actually can get down on it sometimes. It's got some funny jokes, but it is random as fuck.
Yes.
Maybe that's one I'll watch sometime.
There's a show called like Uncle Grandpa. Now that's a good example of random, but random in like a kind of baddish way.
Yeah, he watches that as well, and I'm not too partial to that. That one there, they have moments every now and then, but for the most part, it's just I don't know. I just don't give a shit. It's just kind of blah. But that one is, yeah, definitely prime example of random.
Pretty much. So, but yeah, I saw the Manatar episode. Thought it was pretty funny.
Great.
And then at some other point, I saw part of the Band Boys episode.
Oh yeah.
So it was really just the ending when he lets her, when Mabel lets them go and
Into the wild.
into the wild. And I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. I don't know what's going on,
It is funny.
but
That's a great one.
So I guess a good place to start actually would be the intro for the show. The intro was really good. That was the one thing the very first thing that caught me was the fact that it doesn't have any vocals.
Yeah,
Unless you
that's true.
count that whispering at the very end, but
that's not necessarily vocals. That's more like conspiracy. What are you gonna do?
It's an Easter egg. There's lots of Easter eggs.
It's part of the mystery. And actually, before we really talk about the intro, the first thing that drew me to the show is I love the codes and the mystery and the kind of conspiracies and just the overall strangeness of everything that's going on. That's what really pulls me to it. Like, I do like the characters, and Grunkle Stan's just funny, but the big thing is just it's the whole thing's kind of keeping me guessing. I'm wondering what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I mean, you still want to know. They do have that whole overarching thing about who wrote the journals and.
Exactly.
But that's pretty much the only like spoiler-ish. This is gonna have spoilers, by the way. So
yeah, of course. It's going to be all about the first season.
Right. If you have a problem with that, then you should probably stop the video.
Then
now.
there's the door.
But the only two mysteries that for me is just who wrote the journals and what is Grunkle Stan doing. What is that device downstairs?
Mm-hmm. What's with the portal?
Right. But yeah, I do like how there's a whole mystery thing. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of it's like the new Scooby-Doo show, Mystery Inc.
I have not.
So they also have an overarching thing where there's this big mystery. Like each episode, because it's...
1 second, hold on. Shit, fuck. I got some fucking bug or something flying around, dive bombing my eye. Get the fuck out of here. It's like a moth or something. I don't know why it's in my house, but... Sorry. Okay, continue. Sorry. I've fought it away.
So because it's Scooby-Doo, every episode is... they solve some mystery in each episode, but there is an overarching thing because there's a guy that contacts him called Mr. E.
Mr. E. Oh, I get it.
Right. So it's very similar though. You got this kind of overarching thing that you want to figure out, but
yeah, the sense of what's gonna happen next.
Pretty much. But they're still lighthearted enough because it's still a Disney show.
Mm-hmm. Of course. But it actually is pretty awesome for a Disney show. I don't know, I don't know if getting away with it is the right way to refer to it, but they do a lot of stuff that's not typical to your average Disney show, or at least any of the ones I've seen. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to watch the Disney Channel, and I'm not ashamed to admit it or anything, but I did used to watch like what is that show? That's So Raven or whatever. Was that a Disney show or was that?
That was a Disney show, yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch shows like that, and I don't really watch it anymore because I'm an adult now. But like I said, my brother does watch a lot of those shows, and they just seem so stupid and lame. But then with Gravity Falls, it's like they're really breaking the mold and flipping the script on it, I guess, in a way. Not in any substantial way, but for them they are, it seems.
Right, because I think a lot of it has to do with Adventure Time and shows prior, like Flapjack.
The success of these weird things.
Yeah, like Flapjack and Chowder. They kind of, I mean, when you compare those shows to the current shows, they're not as dark, but they kind of added some dark stuff. You go back to the shows we used to watch. I mean, I guess if you really sat, especially like Courage the Cowardly Dog, could get.
Oh, that show.
But for the most part, it wasn't really that
dark.
It wasn't that dark, but here, I mean.
And another thing I've been noticing is Gravity Falls is full of references to things, especially like older things. And I don't know if it's inspired by, I don't know which one came first or whatever, but I noticed the same thing in regular show. And it's kind of this idea that shows are like these more popular shows. It's nice that they have these references to other things instead of just being like, I don't know, just random, like the Street Fighter episode referencing Street Fighter and fighting games and stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of awesome. I like that. I do dig it. I like it a lot.
You know, actually, if you go back and rewatch that episode, I noticed this at the very beginning when they first get into the arcade. There's an arcade with a triangle with one eye in the middle and a top hat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's like a machine with that?
Yeah, where there's a machine on the screen. It shows that as the kids play.
Oh, Bill
like
Cipher.
Bill Cipher's there.
Which is such a cool name, I think.
Bill Cipher.
Although his character is a little different than I expected. But that's fine with me because I like when things are unexpected. When you can't really predict them. Though you can predict a lot of stuff in this show as far as the morals and stuff go.
Right.
But I will say I am delighted at the fact that you can't usually predict exactly what's going to happen or how they're going to do it.
Right.
But anyway, we were talking about the intro, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
Kind of got off on a tangent there.
So for the intro, yeah, it doesn't have any lyrics, and I think that's a risky move. I think
I like it.
That doesn't have lyrics. I mean, it's a good song
because it doesn't bog it down with needing lyrics. You know what I mean? It kind of, I don't know, leaves it to you. It's just got the flavor of the intro just works so well with the flavor of the show because it's very kind of mysterious and there's just weird things happening and it's like I don't know how to. I'm not a music, producer or anything. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels right.
You know, I was thinking they used to. A lot of the older cartoons didn't have any lyrics, like the old Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have lyrics. They just had, but they had a very distinct sound.
Oh yeah.
But then as time went on, you see a lot of these shows start to put lyrics in because it's catchy. Get it in the kid's head, and
it's not a bad thing or anything.
No, and then you take it to the extreme, like regular show, which has nothing.
No intro, really.
No intro at all. Just it shows you the title. Yeah, the title of the show, some of the credits, and then straight into the episode. It's like, well, on the plus side, that's more time for the show.
For the show, yeah, exactly.
But you can never sit there and you feel nostalgic. You can't go back and listen to the intro.
Yeah.
You just have to.
But I will say, at least the intros. Well, I don't know. I haven't watched that much shows, but the intros aren't like, in my experience, anime intros are so, like, blah, but they always grow on me. But at first, it's so, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, the intro to Full Metal Alchemist, I don't know about that one. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at least with, at least with regular show, there's no intro to not like. You know what I mean? I guess. So I guess there's a plus side to that.
Right.
But I don't know. They always tend to grow on me though. Like I remember when I was watching. What was the show? The second Yu-Gi-Oh show, GX or whatever.
GX, yeah.
The intro is so like it's so lame, but after about 10 episodes in, because I usually just listen to the intro, I never like skip past it because I feel like it's a part of the show. If I was watching it on TV, I'd be listening to the intro anyway. And I feel like it's part of the show. So after listening to it a bunch of times, I started to sing it every time, and it really just grows on you.
Okay.
So
I
don't know what point I'm making with that, but there you go.
When I start a show, I'll listen to the intro once just to see what it's like, and then I mean if I really like it, I'll watch it. But if it doesn't leave an impression, I'll just skip it because
if it's a Yu-Gi-Oh, the first one, the first season or not season, but the first show of Yu-Gi-Oh, with that awesome ass like he melts out of the ground and it's like it's time to do. When you think about it, that one's pretty damn lame also, but it was so epic. That's when I was glad to watch every time.
You do have those nostalgia glasses, though. You watched it as a kid, and it was like, what is this?
Yeah. Though, I will say, I try my damnedest to take those glasses off and think about things from a better perspective. There are definitely things that happen in Yu-Gi-Oh! That are like, wow, how did I miss this shit as a kid? Like when he just changes the rules randomly. But that's a discussion for another time.
Right. But so the intro is good. I know you made a comment that your favorite part is when the eyes look at you, and it just works very well with the.
Yeah, it's right on beat.
Right.
And Wendy's just kind of like sitting there, and the eyes are just in the jar, and then right when it hits that beat, boom, they all just like flick to you. It's got a good effect because it feels right for the show.
Yes.
So yeah.
Unless you got more to talk about, I think we're good to move on to characters.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I give the intro a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yes.
So Dipper and Mabel as main characters, they're pretty good. I mean, Dipper's. Though I will say, I made this comment to you before that I would not have guessed that they were 12 years old.
Yeah, you would have thought they were younger.
I would have thought 10 because I don't know why, but kids shows 10 seems to be the popular age to be.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because it's old enough that they can go on these adventures and not be kind of babies about it, but they're
young enough to not care.
Well, like not old enough that the kids can't relate to.
Yeah.
Because it is I think this is geared towards kids, or maybe teenagers.
I made this comment to you. It reminds me of Avatar in that it's a kids show by and large, but it's very adult friendly. You know what I mean?
I can see it. I think not to the extent of Avatar because they dealt with.
Oh well, yeah, of course not.
Well,
to that
no, I can
extent.
see it. It could be fun for adults because we watched it and we thought it was pretty good.
And I mean, like the jokes and things, the setups. Like, there's a lot of abstract humor. I think a lot of misdirection and stuff like that. Like, you expect it to be like one way, and then it's not, and it's just perfect.
Pretty much.
They just do it the right way. I feel like it is like a show like regular show where the creator is of a certain age and they make a show for kids, but they sprinkle in things for them. And if you're, a person like them, then you pick up on it and whatnot.
I actually read somewhere that the guy who made this show, the idea he got from Gravity Falls is his time. He's just talking about his experiences with his sister when they moved to Oregon as kids.
Yeah, that's actually what the show's about. And Mabel is based on him. Or based on her, his sister.
Yeah, his sister, and then Dipper is based on... Which, do you find out why he's called... I don't think you find out in this episode why he's called Dipper.
In the first one?
Yeah.
I don't remember when you find out, but it's the birthmark on his forehead.
It is the birthmark, and I know he finds it out because of... he's talking to Wendy, and Wendy shows him a picture of when she was younger and she was kind of awkward looking.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, something about a birthmark, but he didn't want to show her, but then he lifts up his bangs.
Yeah, or his bangs, yeah. That's why I hide it.
That's why he wears a hat all the time. I think is to hide the birth.
He looks weird without a hat for me because he's always wearing them.
Yeah, yeah. It's like when I'll talk about this later, but I'm gonna bring up their clothes because that bothered me a little bit. But so yeah, they're really good characters. Mabel is obviously the kind of really you do know
wacky, lovable scamp.
She's obviously geared towards the girls. You know,
but she's also geared towards the, I don't want to say weird kids, but the very like zany kids. You know what I mean?
Right. She's the one you look for to be like really fun and like you don't know what she's gonna do next. And Dipper's kind of more of the straight man.
The straight-laced, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the mystery solver.
Right, and she just goes along because
he's the little Sherlock.
Nothing really ever bothers her. Like it takes a lot to scare her, or like Dipper. In one episode, Dipper gets a hole blasted through him, and she immediately pops her head through it, like or something, like playing with it.
Yeah, which is kind of gruesome when you think about it.
Yeah, she just does not care, and then, but yeah, who's your favorite side character?
Side character, probably Seuss.
Seuss?
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
He's just funny, and he's got such great quotable lines. Like, I remember in the body swap episode when he switches with Waddles, and he comes across like a mud puddle. He's like, "Do I live out the cliche?" Like, that's just great. That just makes me laugh.
Do I live out the cliche?
Yeah, exactly.
Zeus is pretty funny. Like, I don't remember what he says, but he does have a lot of funny lines that you
don't expect, because he seems like the dumb character, but then at times he seems way smarter than he should be, but in a really funny way.
I don't like Zeus all that much.
Oh.
But I gotta say, he's funny. He's really funny, but he's clearly there to be the overly dumb guy.
Yeah, he's comic relief.
He's a comic relief, and
but he's comic relief in a good way, I think, because he's not only comic relief. He still has like a purpose. He always fixes things, and he's kind of like he's one of Dipper's friends and stuff. You know what I mean?
He is very I don't want to say he has like autism, but he's really dumb. Because I've heard like people with autism are really kind of bad at a lot of things because of
like social aspects, but they're really good at other things. Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying, but I don't know if it's necessarily the right way to go about it. But
I don't know any way to go about it. But he is kind of He's kind of dumb, but apparently the two things he's really good at is he's really good at fixing.
Awesome fixer, yeah, mechanic type person.
But he's also apparently a hunk because he took that like really
yeah,
long
and he got like a
test
13. I am the perfect man.
And then doves fly on him. And
yep.
I do like there's a lot of really memorable characters, but just the voice of the Black Sheriff.
Oh yeah.
He's just.
Oh, I love those two. They're so great. They work so well together.
You know, not that it really matters, but I totally get a gay vibe just because of the way that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The sheriff's
of course,
always like, "Every day's a treasure with you."
Yeah. Oh, he loves to play with his bell.
Yep. But you don't find
great.
this out. But I remember thinking, like, why are all of the adults dumb or dicks?
Incompetent?
Yeah, all of them.
I think it's in one of the shorts, but Grunkle Stan says that Gravity Falls has the dumbest people in America. It's literally filled with the dumbest people in America. And that would make sense because that's why he's there. He's a professional con man. Although, after seeing the finale, that's not why he's there. There's other reasons, but it's a good front.
Right.
And I do really like Grunkle Stan also. Maybe on par with or slightly under Seuss.
I was thinking that if like he is pretty much what I would expect Eddie to grow up to be.
Yeah, from Ed, Edd n Eddy?
Yeah, just because...
yeah, I could totally see that.
I could see him being like... granted, barring the movie, because the movie kind of changes things.
Yeah, of course. The big picture show.
The big picture show. Take that out of the equation. I could see Eddie becoming a loner, not really marrying anybody, but being a professional con man.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, I thought that was, and Wendy's a pretty good character too.
I don't know.
She's look. Let me put it this way: she's not bad. Like, she's not. Her being in the show doesn't make it worse.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. I'm not saying she's bad or anything like that, but actually in the vlogs, Nostalgia Critic talks about. I don't know if it's Nostalgia Critic or if it's his brother. What are their names? Doug and
Doug and Rob.
Rob. Okay. One of them make the comment that she really doesn't do anything for the most part. I guess. Well, we haven't seen season 2 yet. Doug said that in season 2 she has more. She does more and whatnot.
Right.
But I kind of am inclined to agree. She doesn't really do anything except kind of be there for Dipper to want.
Yeah,
And,
because
they also say that she's much better when it's an episode where it's more focused on her instead of the episode where they all go to the spectral convenience store, the Inconveniencing. When she's around her friends, it's kind of like blah. Who gives a shit? Why do we care about this character? But then when it's just her and the gang, she's more likable and whatnot. And I tend to agree, but I don't actively dislike her or anything.
Yeah, she's pretty. She doesn't really, like you said, she's just a girl that Dipper has someone to like, and also to have a conflict between him and Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie. Exactly.
But yeah, she doesn't really do. She's just there. She doesn't really, except for that one episode. Except for that one episode and the episode where Robbie hypnotizes her with the
music.
With the music.
Well, there's the pool episode, and that's one of the better ones with her because she actually does stuff. Not a lot, but I mean...
She progresses the story because she convinces Dipper to become a lifeguard.
Oh, in the episode with the time traveler's pig or whatever, where she keeps getting hit in the face by balls. That one was pretty good.
But but in that case, it really doesn't matter that it's Wendy. It could be literally anybody.
Anybody, yeah. It's just funny to see her take ball to the face.
And then she takes a lot of balls.
A lot of balls. And even in one of them, she takes a whole bag of balls at once, if you remember.
I do remember that. And then there's a surprise to me is that she's voiced. I don't remember the actress's name, but I should know her name. Dang it! It's
Velma from.
It's Velma from Linda Cardellini.
Cardellini. She's from Freaks and Geeks, also, right? It's the same chick.
The
main character.
The main character.
If you could call her the main character.
She's the main character on the Freaks side.
Mm-hmm.
And her brother is the main character on the Geeks side.
Yeah.
But so that was pretty cool. Again, I don't know, maybe it's because it's a cartoon, but I would not have guessed her age.
Yeah, she's 15. I probably would have put her older than that because she has a friend with gauges and sleeves, tattoo sleeves.
Yeah, that kind of confused me because I'm like,
yeah.
Well, okay, so they're teenagers, I presume, but you got this guy with tattoo. Granted, when I was in high school, when we were in high school, I did see people with tattoos, but not normally sleeves.
Not that many usually.
Right.
And it's not even a case of you shouldn't get tattoos when you're in high school. It's a case of you need money to do that. You know what I mean? Tattoos aren't cheap, and unless your parents are rich or whatever, whose parents are going to shell out all that cash so that their kids can get sleeves?
I think normally you don't get tattoos in high school because you might think something's super cool in high school, but as soon as you leave high school, it's not cool anymore.
Well, yeah, I know, but who in high school has the foresight to actually do that? I think more often than not, it's a money issue.
Well, you also have to get permission as a.
Yeah. If you're not 18, you got to get parental consent.
You gotta, and then I don't think parents will. I think normally parents won't because they might have tattoos, but they might say wait until you're older.
Yeah, exactly.
You are scarring something into your skin that's going to stay there till you die.
Yeah, that's true.
But I would not have guessed that she's 15, and I don't know, she struck me as older high school, 17, 16, 17. I guess that's not much different than 15, but...
It isn't.
That was just a weird little thing. I do like how Robbie, the bully, is voiced by the same bully. What'd you say is TJ?
TJ Miller.
TJ Miller, who is the bully in Good Vibes.
Is that who does the voice? T.J. Miller?
Yeah.
Because that's what it sounds like to me. He was in. He was the friend who died in that recent Transformers movie with Marky Mark Wahlberg.
I have not seen that movie.
Okay, well, he's there as like a friend or a cousin or someone, and at some point he like dies or whatever. Or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of cool. And expect us to do one of these on Good Vibes, because that is a phenomenal show.
Eventually, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say phenomenal, but it is one of our favorites. Absolutely, we loved it. We saw that when it came out. We watched every like Sunday or whatever, whenever it premiered. We watched it every single time. We didn't miss a single one. We loved it, and it got canceled. So
now,
sad.
don't quote me on this, because I might be wrong, but I think the reason it ended was because they wanted the time slot to bring back the show Daria.
Yeah.
But then again, I never
heard
heard of Daria coming back, so I really don't know why.
That might just be us hating on Daria.
Yes.
Not that we hate the show or anything, but we just don't care. That's probably the best way to say it. We just don't care.
Pretty much. And then every episode usually introduces some kind of character that's pretty interesting, but a lot of times they don't come back. Or they don't have, like, I don't know the name of the skinny guy that's always like, get him!
Oh, we're back on Gravity Falls, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking about Dario.
Oh, please, no.
Please, no.
I mean, we might if somebody is like, yeah, can you do Daria? Just
watch it. No, not if somebody. We need to get a lot of people.
At least 5 people. I would say
5.
At least if 5 people say, "Can you do Daria?" We'll begrudgingly do it, but we'll still do it.
Well, yeah. Now, if we get more popular, then hell no. It's going to be a comparative amount to the amount of viewers and subscribers we have.
Let's put it this way: if you put 5 requests on this episode.
Okay, I guess. All right, fine.
All right.
Begrudgingly, I'll watch fucking Daria. So, you see, the thing is, his girlfriend, your girlfriend, Chris, like, had us watch one of the episodes. And I don't know if this was just a bad episode to first see, but it was all about these chicks just fucking complaining to each other about something, and it was just so boring.
I remember they were talking about getting plastic surgery.
Plastic surgery, yeah, exactly.
Because apparently one of the chicks got plastic surgery, which is, again, we were just talking about tattoos being a thing.
Yeah, plastic surgery in high school. That's taking it to the extreme.
But then that's something you might hear about in like Beverly Hills, because it's not.
Because it's
But I don't know where this show takes place.
It's superficial.
Very superficial. Well, I remember in Good Vibes, one of a couple of the girls actually had boob jobs. They were still in high school.
Yeah, that's true. But to be fair, that was Woody's sister and her 2 friends, and they're all rich.
Oh yeah, and they were supposed to be making fun of the whole idea of that.
Exactly. But okay, so that's enough Daria. That's enough Good Vibes.
So what do you have? Gideon. We didn't talk about Gideon.
Gideon. I do like Gideon, but I also see him as like this kind of creepy little weirdo.
Is he not voiced by that guy that? I'm sure he's in a bunch of things, but the only 2 things I'm thinking of, 3 things. He's in Talladega Nights as one of the crewmen. He's in Forgetting Sarah Marshall as the newlywed that's
You're talking about what's his name? Jack McBrayer? Was that his name?
I don't know his name.
Maybe. But, here, actually, I'm just gonna look it up. Like, what the fuck?
But
that's what we have the internet for.
He does sound exactly like that guy. To me, he does.
Lil Gideon.
Granted, they did something to his voice to make it a little higher pitched, because I don't know how old Gideon is supposed to be. He might be the same age as, he might be 12, but he's just short.
He seems like he might be younger.
That's what I'm guessing.
Gravity Falls. Oh god, my computer's lagging up a storm.
Yeah, I can do it.
It's because I just finished what I was doing in WoW, and I was just exiting out of it, and that like freezes the computer up. For some reason, you're not allowed to exit out.
Okay, no, it's not. It's voiced by a guy named Throp Van Orman.
Throp Van Orman. What else does he do? Because I don't recognize that name.
He does. I don't know. I don't recognize his face, but probably that's the thing with voice actors. You're not going to recognize their faces.
Yeah.
What they
Have you actually seen like Steve Blum, and have you ever actually seen like Joe DiMaggio and all them? Like you
I've seen Joe
instantly know the
DiMaggio.
voice, but
Yeah, I've seen Joe DiMaggio. And I've seen Johnny Young Bosch, but I've not seen.
Johnny Young Bosch though, wasn't he on? Didn't he play as the Black Ranger in Power Rangers with Ivan Ooze?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I guess this. Well, it says here on the IMDb that his most famous roles are Flapjack, Adventure Time, Camp Lazlo.
We're talking about the Gideon's voice actor,
Yeah.
Lil Gideon. Okay, well I didn't watch Camp Lazlo and I didn't watch Flapjack, so
So there you go. But he wasn't anybody like big in those shows. He's just in them, except for, yeah. No, he was just. Wait,
Okay.
did he write those shows? Is that what he did? Huh.
No idea.
Anyway, yeah. So
But I finally got the wiki open now. Like the game is all exited out and everything. It stopped lagging.
But he's a cool guy. Oh, not cool, but he's an interesting villain because he's got, as you find out, he's got one of the journals. And
That was actually when I first watched the first episode. I was drawn in because the animation and I liked the little jokes and I loved the fucking gnomes. And then there's the book with the 3, and you're like, oh, what's up with that? That's pretty cool. But then after the episode with Lil Gideon, which is like, I don't remember, like 3 or 4, it's fairly early on. And then at the very end, when he like closes the book and you see the 2, it's like, oh shit, that was another one of those like hooks. It's got its hooks in me. I gotta know what's up. There's multiple books. What's going on here?
What you really want to know is you don't ever find out in the first season, but where did he find the book?
Yeah, where'd Gideon get it?
Yeah, Dipper just happened upon his because he was. I forgot what he was doing, but he hit.
He was in the forest hanging up signs, and he like
went to a tree, and it was like.
and it was like made of metal, and he opened it.
Yes.
And there was like a switch, and he pulled it, and then like a fucking thing opened up in the ground. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
So, I think we're ready to talk about. We're gonna try to go episode to episode because there's not that many.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Plus, I don't know. I like doing that because we get to give our points on each individual little thing. It's nice.
And if we do, I don't see it happening. But if we do, quote unquote,
Sorry.
run out of time, we can always do a part 2 of this and then
Yeah, of course.
finish it and then go on to the mini episodes.
Yeah, the shorts. But
So,
here's something that I could have called recurring cast D. Bradley Baker as Waddles. Of course, you could see that he does every fucking animal in every show ever.
Oh yeah, and then Joe DiMaggio is
Manly Dan.
Manly Dan.
I don't hear it. I'm surprised I didn't get that. Oh, John Oliver as Wax Sherlock Holmes. Nice.
I don't know who
Cool.
John Oliver is.
John Oliver, he was the on the Daily Show, I think. He is the like consultant, the British dude.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you.
Because I'm looking at guest stars right here. They actually have Coolio as Wax Coolio. Nice. Larry King as Wax Larry King.
Wow, they actually got the nice.
That's awesome. I don't know Justin Roiland. I feel like I should, but as Blendon Blandon. Wait, Blendon Blandon. I think that's Justin Roiland. Is he Lemon Grab?
I could see it.
Rick and Morty, yeah. Rick and Morty and the Earl of Lemon Grab. Yep.
Yeah, he's
He's a co-creator of Rick and Morty.
Oh.
And he also voices the titular character.
Does
Awesome.
Does he do Mr. Meeseeks?
Hold on. Yeah, Mr. Meeseeks. As well as the incidental character Bobby Renzabi. Do we know who that is? I feel like I know who that is. Oh yeah, from he's the in the random like commercials they have of the random ass items. He's the dude always selling them. That's Bobby Renzabi.
Oh, okay.
Arm pants, the huggy wovey arm pants, and the owl trowel. That's awesome. Makes me lol.
So moving on to we're gonna do the
episode
first
1.
Episode
Yeah.
1, the tourist trapped is what it's called, which
Tourist Trap.
which made me think of the movie Parent Trap. If you've ever seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it with
Yeah.
well, the old ass one or the one with Lohan pre meltdown, I guess.
Yeah, pre just whatever she's been doing. Well, I've seen both.
I haven't seen the older one.
Yeah, the older one is pretty much the same. I mean, the effects are not as good, obviously, but
Yeah, of course not.
it is what it is. But so the first episode was pretty
Hold on,
good.
one sec. I got a question here. I'm on the wiki, and it has a list of the episodes, but I don't think they're in order. Do you remember which order they went in?
The
Or at least for
episodes?
me, I don't think they're in order.
Well, I knew the first episode was tourist trapped, and then if you go to that page, it shows you on the bottom.
It'll say the next episode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because on this one, it's got all these thumbnails, and it's got Tourist Trapped, and then Dreamscaperers, Gideon Rises, The Inconveniencing. So I'm just like, which fucking order? Okay. Previous unaired pilot. Oh, they had a pilot that they didn't play.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah, this episode didn't actually grab me, I think, as much as it grabbed you.
The thing I loved was the fucking gnomes, because they're they're gnomes, but at the same time they're like wild and feral, and they're like little creepy. They like hiss at each other, and like they fuse together into like a mega gnome, and it was so great.
It was pretty weird.
Plus, you're led to believe that the dude that Mabel's after, which by the way, they like introduce the fact that Mabel's always kind of looking for a summer romance.
Yeah.
And they make it seem like, oh shit, this dude's a zombie, you know, and Dipper's gonna figure it out. And they do a really great joke where he's like flipping through the book and he's like, Mabel, it's this, and he like shows her the book and it's on gnomes. And she's like, oh wait. He's like, oh wait, no. And then he flips to the page with zombies. And it's funny because it turns out to actually be the gnomes. It's like a clever little.
She kind of hopes that it's that he's a vampire. Yep.
Yeah. And there's actually a joke later where she says that she dated a vampire, and he's like, I don't remember that. And she's like, I don't tell you everything.
Yeah, I don't tell you everything.
Something like that. It's great.
Yeah, it was a good episode. It introduced the whole journals thing, and that there is an overarching mystery, and it gave you that hint about something's up with Grunkle Stan, because in the book it says trust no one. So you don't, and then Grunkle Stan goes into the
at the very end, the secret room.
Well, what's going on with that? Which they don't reference that again until the
very last episode of the season.
Pretty much. So that was kind of cool. You got to see Seuss, and he's pretty funny. You got to basically get an understanding of what kind of character he is. And then same with, I think Wendy's in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then which you pretty much got her entire personality in that one episode.
Yeah.
She's just kind of chill, laid back, kind of lazy, but she is a teenager.
Exactly. And she's a younger teenager. She's not like 17, 18. She's 15.
Right.
So she's pretty immature, but, you know, she's supposed to be.
And it was an alright episode.
I like her character design, though. I like that she's always wearing that, like, I want to say it's a Canadian hat. I don't know. I've never been to Canada.
I don't know what that hat's called, but yeah, I only see people from the north, like far north, wear it. We're from Arizona. We don't know what people in the north wear.
Yeah, we're from southern Arizona, where it's just hot.
Pretty much.
We don't wear those. We wear sombreros.
For us,
no, we don't. I literally have never put a sombrero on.
For us, cold is like 40 degrees.
Yeah, seriously.
And up there, that's like a summer or something. There's, I went.
But for us, people come here and it's like 85 out. Oh, it's so hot. What are you talking about? Why don't you come back when it gets up to 110?
Yeah, deal with that mess.
Exactly. And it's a dry heat, which I actually prefer because you're not, like, you'll sweat, but you're not going to just be drenched in a second.
Pretty much.
But that's neither here nor there.
So yeah, I do like that you they're gonna use monsters that you may have heard of, like gnomes, even though they're never really considered monsters, just mythical or mystical. I never really got the difference between a mythical monster.
Mythical and mystical. Here, let's hit up the old dictionary. I got that app on my phone.
I'm gonna make a guess and say mythical is any creature that has been in myth, like a mythology of some sort.
Okay, I could see that.
And mythical. Yeah, because it's got myth in the name. And mystical is just any magical creature. It doesn't have to come from myth. It could just be like
Or it could just be a sense of mysticism. It could just be a strangeness or a weirdness. But
Right.
hold on. Here is the definition of mythical: based on or described in a myth, existing only in the imagination. And then mystical is, well, not mystically, what the fuck? Mystical is having a spiritual meaning that is difficult to see or understand, of or relating to mystics or mysticism, resulting from prayer or deep thought. Mysterious. So, there you go. So mythical applies more to like creatures and stuff, and mystical applies more to like religion, I guess.
Pretty much.
So,
So I guess mythical creatures like gnomes, you'll see them and you expect them to act one way, basically like grown, like just like adults but short. But they're, like you said, they're kind of feral.
mhm.
And so that was kind of cool. So it made you think. Anytime you might see a monster, you think you know, they're going to change it in some way.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, I think that's the first episode was pretty good. It's a good way to kind of introduce you to the world and
Yeah, of course.
essentially all the other stuff. I do like.
As the first episode is supposed to do in pretty much anything.
Right, it's supposed to get you to want to see the next episode.
Set the stage.
Yeah.
Oh, and one last thought before we move on. I remember there was a pretty funny. Actually, I just thought of another one. The gnome Schmebulok.
Yeah, that only he can only say his own name.
Yeah, you find out later. Schmebulok. Is that all you can say? Schmebulok.
Yeah.
So that's a really funny one that comes back. But when she's got the leaf blower and she puts the picture on it, she's like, kissing practice. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, she's in it. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's just Mabel being delightful.
Being just delightful.
All right, let's move on to the next episode. Next, we have The Legend of the Gobblewonker.
Which, what a great name, Gobblewonker.
I know, that's so... Oh, this is the one where they go to the lake and they find the lake monster. That's right.
Right, and I told you this, that this whole thing is very similar to a Family Guy episode where Peter becomes a captain, and there's a sea monster.
Oh, right. They have to go... It's not a sea monster. It's like a deadly fish or something, right?
Or something, and then it turns out to be just a guy in a robot.
Yeah, it's like a robot fit. And I remember because he's sitting there and he's drinking like a martini or something. He's like, "Welcome to my cove," whatever the fuck.
Welcome to my cove.
And he was just a robot as well. Yeah, that's true. There is definitely parallels.
Because I remember they were like, now before any of you guys start thinking about how a sea captain with no mechanical engineering skills at all figured out a way to make a robot. But this was kind of good. I think this was the first episode to kind of have a moral or an Aesop at the end, and it's to, I guess, appreciate family. I think that's what you're supposed to walk away with.
Yeah, appreciate your family.
Yeah, because Grunkle Stan wants to go out with them, and they're like, nah, why don't we do something that we think is more fun?
Yeah.
And but they also want to make money because they're that guy. They saw that if they get a picture, they can get like $500. Mabel wants to get the big hamster ball, the human-sized hamster ball.
Which actually also makes a return when they go into Stan's dreams.
Yeah,
they use them as shields.
Which I didn't know who those. I thought those two guys were just two guys from her imagination. You don't know that they're from a show that she watches.
Yeah, they actually referenced that earlier in the show, as they seem to do a lot. They bring shit back, even if it's just for a little bit. It's fun to see something come back for a little joke.
Right, to show that they plan stuff. It's not just episode by
There is a continuity to it as well.
Right. They did also...
Like, I guess later, the Blendin' Blandin' episode, where he's time traveling, I didn't know this, or notice, but I guess he is in the episodes that they, like, run by. Like, you can apparently see him there, which is just awesome.
Okay. Did you know that Stan and Seuss are voiced by the same guy?
I did not until I just read it, actually.
I know, I just saw it, like, wow, would not have...
That's pretty cool.
What's the dude's Old Man McGucket?
Yeah, Old Man McGucket.
Old Man McGucket.
He's crazy.
He's crazy, and the best part is he's insane, clearly. and he looks like an old prospector, but he's actually like a genius.
An engineering wizard.
Yeah, he makes giant robots for the dumbest reasons.
Yeah, because people like scorn him or whatever.
And really weird, like this guy didn't show up to my like going away party, so I made a homicidal pterodactyl.
It's hilarious.
It's really bad.
I love how wacky this show is. I'm gonna keep coming back to that thought, but I love it because this show. I feel like this is one of those shows that like gets me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
I do like.
I probably like the show, or at least it seems like I like the show more than you, because I feel like I'm fanboying like crying.
I thought it was a good show, but to be honest, it wasn't a show that I had to see what was going to happen next. It was just okay. Let's see what's happening next.
Yeah, I gotcha. Let's talk more about this episode.
Yeah.
Keep getting on these fucking tangents.
This I've seen this before a dozen times though. So character hears about a mystical creature. They go to try to find it. It turns out to be a fake, but at the very end it's revealed, oh, it actually does exist.
Yeah, exactly. When it's under the water behind them.
Yep, I see it all the time. It's like
all the time.
But yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It was a good episode. It introduced some characters that like
it had some great jokes with Grunkle Stan. Help you really see how like shitty he is.
This was kind of a dumb joke in my opinion, but the whole when they're running away from the sea creature, the guys are moving glass in boats.
Yes. No, that is not a dumb joke.
I thought that was totally a dumb joke.
It's so funny. Oh, because you always see that kind of shit where they're like moving glass or whatever that gets broken, but they're like in their own respective little like rowboats. Oh, that's great. And they also reuse that joke later when they're it's like the Pioneer Day,
right?
And it's all like, what is it, sepia toned or whatever?
Right, where it's
like,
all like
dirty glass, moving dirty glass.
Dirty glass.
Oh, I love it.
But yeah, other than that,
I love the humor of the show. I love it.
I don't know what else to say. This episode didn't really, other than the jokes, it didn't really make me think about anything.
Yeah, this episode was definitely a joke one, like a more joke heavy.
I do like that they kept destroying the cameras.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we've got 17 just in case. They like immediately like throw one overboard. 16, we're good. They keep fucking up in all these ways. And then the joke where Grunkle Stan sees like the grandpa with his two grandchildren in the boat. I love you, Grandpa. He's like, boo. Whatever. Oh man. So next episode, which
is called Headhunters.
Headhunters.
Okay, that's the one.
The wax museum one.
People, which, as we said earlier, maybe we said earlier, but they actually did get like the Larry King wax.
Wax Larry King and Wax Coolio.
I don't know if we talked about it on this show or if it was before the show, but that's kind of cool.
No, we talked about it on the show.
But that's kind of cool that they got the actual people, even though it's only 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
But and did they also introduce this guy? What's his name? So weird. What is his name? Is it Toby Determined? No, that can't be his name.
Toby Determined. To be
the dude that's like, he's like a news report. He does the news.
Oh yeah, the weird news dude.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know.
That might be his name. I'm looking at the list of voices. Mabel, Dipper, Stan, Wax, Wendy, Manly, Deputy, Tyler. Which one's Tyler?
I don't think his name is Tyler.
I don't think so either. Oh, well. No, Tyler's the cute biker.
It's Get him. It even shows right there. If you look to the left, and it shows a little clip, it says Dipper and Mabel accuse Toby of being the murderer.
Oh, so it is Toby. Which, that was also one of those great jokes. Your little legs must be tired from jumping to your conclusions. Ha-cha-cha.
Ha-cha-cha.
That's great.
It's such a weird... I gotta bring this up.
Manners.
I don't know what episode he's introduced, but you know the fat guy that keeps getting like disappointed?
With the free pizza shirt?
First with the free pizza shirt, but just constantly.
Yeah, he like signs for a package and then he just walks away.
It's
Yeah.
so great. I think this one, if it's not this episode, it's one before. But yeah, he just keeps getting disappointed at not getting his stuff.
Trivia. The featured wax figures are Sherlock Holmes, Lizzie Borden, Groucho Marx, Queen Elizabeth II, Robin Hood, Thomas Edison, William Shakespeare, Edgar Allan Poe, Genghis Khan, Coolio, Larry King, and Richard Nixon. Also mentioned were John Wilkes Booth and a mostly melted Abraham Lincoln. Who melted Abraham Lincoln? I'm looking at you, wax John Wilkes Booth. I remember that joke.
Yes.
Oh man, and with the head when Mabel's like throwing the pieces of wax into the fireplace. She's like, nope. Yeah, what a good episode.
It was dark because it was the first episode that had like homicide.
Murder.
It had murder, you know, because in the other two it was, well, I guess if you think about it, the old guy was going to probably kill the two kids by eating them.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't thinking about it because you didn't know it was a guy in there until later. But this one, there was a guy, and he was literally going to kill them.
He was going to cut off Grunkle Stan's head.
Yeah, that's
what he tried to do. It wasn't even he was going to. He cut off Grunkle Stan's head. It just happened to be the wax figure.
Yup. Dark.
Yep. This is also one of those episodes, because I don't remember if there was that much in the last one, but this is one of the first ones where Dipper actually like goes into like sleuth mode and is trying to figure out the mystery of like who's the person who killed him and all that.
Right, because the other two, he was just kind of, well,
like in the last one, there wasn't like a real mystery. They were just kind of looking for sightings.
Yeah, but the first one he was trying to figure out, he was doing detective work to figure out what the boyfriend was.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
But it wasn't so much, it was detective work because he was keeping tabs on him, but he wasn't doing like mystery solving like he does here.
Exactly.
And then he ends up beating Sherlock Holmes, which the Sherlock Holmes even says I got beaten by a kid, but you still scream like a little girl. Or no, you sneeze like a kitten.
Yeah. You do sneeze like a kitten.
It's. But yeah, that was pretty good. You get to see a little bit of. I think this is the first time you get to see Grunkle Stan younger because they flash back to when he bought the.
From a haunted garage sale.
Right, and they come with a terrible price, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna steal them from you later."
Yeah, I'll just steal them from you later.
He's like, "What?" Yeah, I said, "I'm gonna steal it from you," and he's just like, "Oh,"
it's
like
so straight up. Oh, Chandra Jimenez, that's what it is. Chandra Jimenez.
Chandra.
The news reporter lady. That's
funny. So weird.
And
even Mabel says that to him. He's like, "You're always
You're
weirder."
too weird.
No, she says, "You're always weirder than I remember."
yeah, that's what she says. Oh, so that's a good one. That's a good one. Let's move on. The hand that rocks the Mabel. This is the one with Gideon.
Okay, so first off, I got to bring this up because this all right. Do kids, because they are kids. I mean, I guess you could call them preteens because they're 12. But do kids date?
I don't think so.
I didn't think.
Why don't you tell me, Mr. Dating every fucking girl under the sun?
What's that supposed to?
If you don't know, Christopher is kind of a player.
No,
he's not a player. He's just dated so many girls.
Okay. It only seems that way because compared to the other guys we hung out.
Because I don't date anybody.
Well, you didn't date a lot of people. Toad didn't start dating until he became an adult. Anthony didn't start dating until he became an adult. John. No,
I thought he dated his missus at like 17 or something.
I thought they didn't start dating until they hit 18.
Oh, maybe.
I don't remember him having a girlfriend in high school.
Doesn't really matter, but
doesn't.
Go on.
When I was 12, like
all the girls loved you because you listened to them.
Are we really gonna get into this?
No, continue.
Okay.
Sorry.
I didn't like a date was just going to a girl's house and hanging out with them, not going out to dinner by yourselves. You know, I don't know. That seems weird to me. I didn't go on dates till I was in high school, and even then, I didn't have a job. Before I had a job, all I did was ask my parents for money and went to the movies.
Yeah.
And
Is it weird that I've never been on a date?
if
Is that strange?
if you think it's strange,
I don't think it's that strange, but
there is. I think
am
there
I a
is.
weirdo?
I think there is not so much an expectation, but they just. I don't know. There's this idea that by the time you hit high school, you're probably gonna start dating, and a lot of people end up having sex at some point in high school.
Oh yeah, younger and younger as well. I think my brother lost his virginity at like 13,
Holy crap!
which is so young. Yeah, he's
Holy,
actually my brother is a player the likes of which you could never achieve, Chris. Holy shit! Like he bangs, or well, not anymore. He's married and he's got a kid now. But I mean, he used to bang so many people all the time, and it's actually he said he's never once used a condom in his life. So it's kind of really lucky. You know what his like method for not conceiving children's is?
what's that?
It's not the pull out method. It's the push in past everything method. He said you just brick it in her guts. That's how you do it. What the fuck, right?
I would say
I'm surprised that he did not knock anybody up.
I would
throughout
say
high
he's
school
probably
with
shooting
that method.
blanks, but the fact that he's got a kid disproves
Yeah,
that.
he has a
So-
kid. Yeah,
So maybe
he's
that works.
adorable. I love his child. I never like. It's so weird. Anybody who has like a sibling that recently had their first child, it's so strange for me. It's so surreal because he's my younger brother too, and I just never saw that. And then boom, out pops a little kid. And I hate children and I hate babies, but this little thing, it melts my heart. Ugh.
I don't know. Maybe it's because by the time I was born, my sister already had a kid,
Yeah.
so I just grew up with kids being around. So,
Hmm.
but that's a story for another time. We're going on a.
For another time. We're going off on a little
You might talk about that in the main show, which I was actually going to bring up. Being siblings, because between you, me, and Eric, you're the only one who's an older sibling.
Yeah, I'm the eldest, actually.
Exactly, and him and I are both the youngest in our family, so.
I'm actually adding that to my list of topics for the main show. Siblings slash fucking babies.
Not
Not fucking babies.
yeah, gotcha. But yeah, so Gideon's introduced.
That's a can of
and,
worms for another day.
Gideon was introduced, and you can already tell something's weird about him
Oh yeah.
just from the get-go. I'm
He's psychic.
I'm surprised that he didn't, instead of saying he was a psychic, just say he could move things with his mind, because the thing basically gave him that power anyway.
Exactly. The what was it? The brooch or like a bolo tie or something? It was like a necklace or something.
Yeah, it was some kind of Western wear.
If it was Western wear, then it's totally a bolo tie.
Probably is.
We have here in Arizona, in southern. Yeah, looking at a picture, it's totally a bolo tie.
Yeah.
But to be fair, to go back to the like dating thing, he is like the most popular guy in town, and he does have money, so it would make sense he would take her out. That doesn't necessarily mean it's typical. Like, the typical person doesn't have a bolo tie that lets you fucking move shit.
True that. But other than that, I mean, we can look at the trivia, see if anything.
Pops out. Yeah, I was going to say, as far as this episode goes, it's definitely not one of my favorites, though there are two things that I really enjoyed. The first was that Grunkle Stan like steals the clown painting.
The clown painting
I
at the
thought
end.
that was hilarious because he steals it and runs away, but then later when he's at the shack, he's actually like putting the painting up. And then later, in like the last episode of the season, when Gideon's father's there, he like takes the clown painting back. I thought that was great. But the second thing is obviously the big reveal when Gideon like closes the journal too. Oh shit! That was one of those moments that got the hook in me, and I was like, okay, I gotta watch the show.
Nice.
And I don't know if you noticed, but the hand on the books has 6 fingers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 5
Yeah.
fingers and a thumb.
Yeah, which is a little weird. And I'm not going to say that it is definitely done that way on purpose, but with a show like this, I imagine it's got to be done on purpose.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that Zipper will probably look at it and be like, "Wait, why does this have 6 fingers? We got to find a guy with 6 fingers."
Yeah. Plus, by the way, forgot to mention this. If we say anything that is like revealed in the next season, we haven't seen the next season, so
Yeah.
it's
But we
baseless
we did say
speculation
that
at
at the
this
beginning
point.
that we had not yet watched the
Yeah,
season.
we did say that. Just kind of reiterating.
Reiterate that if you do find out why it's got 6 fingers, yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
But I looked at the trivia, and the only one that seemed even a little bit interesting was, the part where Wendy is listing off boys that she's dumped.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the names she lists off are the actual names of the boys that the creator's sister dated. But they mixed up the
Oh.
last names and first names, but they are the
Yeah.
actual names.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, they're meh. Just meh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now that we're a couple episodes in, it bugs me that Mabel changes shirts or changes sweaters every episode, but
Mhm.
nobody else changes clothes.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's weird to me. Hey, look, Thurop Van Orman is also getting Oh, okay, yeah. Never mind, I already.
It's also. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What was the name? Thurop
Thurop Van Orman.
Van Orman. Yeah. It's a interesting name there.
And then
Gideon Gleeful. That's his name? Gleeful? I
Gleeful.
forgot about that. I
And
do
then
like his dad.
His dad is voiced by Buck Strickland, yeah.
Yeah.
From freaking
One of the best shows fucking ever that nobody goddamn likes.
oh, come
Dude,
on, that
King of the Hill is brilliant.
No, but dude, it went for 9 seasons. You're telling me nobody liked it?
Well, I mean now. Like, everyone I meet is just like, fuck that show. Like, my mom hates it. Anytime, like, because she'll get home or whatever. By the way, I live with my parents and all that. But anytime she gets home and turns the television on, because usually my little brother has watched Cartoon Network or what have you. And she'll turn it on, and she usually gets home fairly late, so she turns it on, and it's usually Adult Swim. If that show is on, she, like, throws such a fucking fit, and she's just like, turn this fucking shit off. I hate this shit. Calm down. The show's brilliant.
It is. It's one of the only cartoon shows that is completely realistic. Like, nothing really happens
That's, like, over the top.
that you would only see in a cartoon.
All
Bobber.
right, next episode, and I think we could do one more episode, and then I'm gonna have to take a break, which really sucks because we're only on episode 5.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to take take another break, or do you want to just kind of end it after 5 and then do a part 2?
Yeah, we could do a part 2. It's because I gotta leave and I gotta go get my brother from school and go get my stepfather from work and just do shit. I gotta go drive all over the place and do shit like that. So I'm gonna be gone until around like 5. So.
All right. Well, we've got an hour in anyway, so all right. So we'll do.
Yeah, which is crazy. We're talking like I was wondering if we were gonna spend enough time on each episode, but we got a lot to talk about. So.
Right.
But I like it like this. I prefer the format like this. So as long as it takes, who gives a shit?
There you go. So this one's called the Inconveniencing, which is the
with the convenience store.
With the convenience store, and there's the ghosts of the people that live there,
and all of Mabel's fucking teen friends.
Wendy's teen friends.
Or not, yeah, Wendy, not Mabel. Wendy's.
Yeah, Wendy's teen friends, and this is the one that we were talking about with the guy with the tattoos, and
yeah.
I think this is the first episode that you get introduced to Robbie, actually.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Because I keep looking at the voice, the credits, and yeah, this is the first episode with Robbie.
Oh, okay. I'm actually looking at a picture. The dude doesn't have full sleeves, but he does have tattoos on both arms.
Yeah. And,
okay.
Yeah, it is T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what it sounds like.
But it was a cool episode. It was kind of... It's so surreal because they do some dark stuff, but they also show like Mabel hallucinating after eating that candy.
Yeah, that was great with the fucking. There's actually a picture right here with the weird dolphin with the fucking arms and mouths shooting like rainbow lasers.
It's pretty. There's like, do you want to eat my paw? Of course I do, and she just starts gnawing on it.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Do you remember all the tortures that they put the kids through?
Um, no, actually, I do not.
So the girl, they put her into the TV.
The one that texts.
The one that, well, the only other girl there besides Wendy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put her into the monitor, into the TV, and she couldn't get out.
Okay.
They turned one of them, I think it was the one with the snakes, into sleeves. Or I'm sorry, into the one with snakes on his arm into a hot dog.
Okay.
And then they did. I'm trying to. Who else? There's the fat kid. I cannot think of.
What they did to him.
Yeah, I'm completely forgetting now. Dang.
The ghost says he's kidding. And...
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna.
No. Okay, the fat kid was playing. The fat kid was playing the Dance Revolution.
Oh yeah, Dancy Pants Revolution.
And then he gets stuck in the game, and the arrows are like hitting him.
Yeah, they're like stabbing into him.
There you
Shing,
go.
shing, 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 shing. Yeah.
And then, yeah, and I cannot remember what they did to. I don't think they did any. They didn't do anything to Wendy. I know that much.
Yeah.
Uh,
But anyway, regardless, it's not the greatest episode, but it's not bad.
Oh no, okay, I forgot the darkest one, and this was messed up to me. So I think it's the blonde kid. He gets like put onto the front of a cereal box, and the mascot eats him. And it's so dark.
I don't remember that.
It's
What?
so dark because the camera pans away, and it just looks at the reaction because everybody else is watching it, but you hear it. You hear the mascot eating him, and you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
dang.
It just killed him.
It just killed him. It ate him with a spoon.
Nice.
And, of course, the moral of this one is, don't, again, be who you are. Don't be ashamed of your past, I guess. Because the whole...
The lammy lamb dance.
Right. You tried so hard to impress Wendy and the older kids, but just be yourself. Is what you're supposed to want to do.
Yeah, it's a decent episode, but again, it's not one of my favorites. It's not that great, I don't think. And it's probably mostly because I just don't really care for any of Wendy's friends.
Yeah,
Just
well, they
kinda
don't really leave an impression.
whatever.
Like, if you actually watch the later episodes, you do see those teens again. Like, each one of them, they don't talk, but you see them in the backgrounds. Or, like, I think the blonde one and the one with the tattoos works at the movie theater.
Oh, okay.
That they break into. And so, yeah, that was a good episode.
Nice.
It was, again, a little dark, but still very funny.
Now, moving on to the next one, we definitely have time to talk about it, but I don't think we do. Because it is the Dipper vs. Manliness episode, and I'm sure we could talk a lot about this, because this is a great one, and this is one of my favorites.
So let me ask
I think we should cut it right here.
All right, so let me ask
do some closing remarks before part 2.
Well, I was going to say, do you want them to be completely separate videos, so like a beginning and an end to part 1, and then a beginning and an end to part 2? Or do you want to just have maybe a musical break in the middle?
Are you
See what I'm
edit
saying?
two together, or just have 2 separate videos?
I guess I'm
we
really
just have
asking.
side A, side B.
I guess I'm really asking: do you want them to be just one long video with a dip in the middle with a break, or do you want one video and then a separate video, which is part 2?
We could have 2 separate videos,
Okay.
and just have it be like part A, part B.
All right. Well, we're gonna do that then, and
Let's do some closing remarks.
Thank you for joining us, and the first, let's see, we really only got through the first 5 episodes, so
Which is hilarious.
part 2 will have, hopefully, if we do have the time, this might be a 3-parter. Who knows?
Yeah, it's entirely possible. We actually ended up... See, because this is what we probably should have done originally with the Avatar episode. Instead of going through all 3 seasons, we probably should have spent more time on each episode like we're doing here. But it's whatever, That was our first one. We're learning as we go.
Live and learn. We may, at some point, go back to Avatar just to give it its proper due.
Yeah, that's always possible. Yeah.
But, yeah, show is good so far.
Yeah, do enjoy it. Absolutely. By this point, what I mean is, by episode 6, I really started to just really love the show. And this one is like the last nail in the coffin that got me to just love it because I love all the manliness. Like I love it.
Oh, the next episode.
Yeah, this one, Dipper versus manliness.
Right.
That's what I mean.
We haven't even
Which
hit.
we'll cover next time.
I have 2 favorite episodes, and we haven't even hit them yet. So you get to look forward to that to figure out which one is. I don't think, Justin, we've hit your favorite episodes yet. So.
Nah.
So again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you again in part 2 or part B, whatever we decide to call this. And that should be coming up pretty soon. I doubt that they'll come out too far apart from each other.
Exactly.
Especially since this seems to be only about an hour long.
Yeah, we'll probably be able to finish it later today. I just can't right now. We were going to record earlier, but just, obviously things happen. And
life gets in the way, as it does.
Of course, as it does. But that is the end of Side A.
Thank you for joining us.
Flip
we were your
Side
hosts. I am Chris. Thank you for joining us again for the update.
I'm Justin.
And he is Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's happy to be Justin.
I am very happy to be Justin.
But we will see you next time. Bye.